was nearby.
Supervisory.
Make.
Two of the knives had been purchased by an individual in Vermont within 20 miles of the crime scene.
Bells started going off and flags were raised that we may have a good break here.
The purchase of two identical combat knives is an extraordinary lead. Investigators follow up immediately. The two knives were purchased by a man named James Parker. He lives across the state line in Chelsea, Vermont. Mark Mudgett is assistant commander of the major crime unit for the New Hampshire State Police.
When we made the initial contact with the occupants of the home, we were somewhat shocked at the fact that it was purchased by a juvenile.
Jimmy!
James Parker is only 16 years old.
What's going on? You James Parker?
Yes.
We want to talk to you about some knives.
James Parker indicated that he bought two knives
Didn't tell you.
at that time, that he bought one for himself and one for a friend of his, a gentleman by the name of Robert Tulloch, that they had purchased the knives so they could use them while they were rock climbing.
Oh, well, but we
Detectives asked Parker where the knives are now.
So we took them to a local Army and Navy.
He tells them the knives were big. The boys decided they were too heavy for rock climbing and sold them at an Army-Navy store.
Some person in the parking lot. Yeah.
The trooper said that the hair on the back of his neck was standing up because when he started this interview, he had the feeling that this was not a legitimate story.
Investigators asked Parker if he'd be willing to answer a few questions at the police station.
Is it okay if I tag along?
Be fine.
Parker agrees to be interviewed.
There you go, son.
And then the investigators went to interview his partner. And again, same story that didn't really measure up.
What happened to the knives? Me and my
17-year-old Robert Tulloch corroborates Parker's story.
We realized the knives were too heavy for us, so
The knives were too heavy. The boys sold them for $60 apiece to a stranger at the Army-Navy store in Burlington, Vermont.
60 for both.
Do you have any kind of footwear, shoes, boots, or anything like that?
Investigators are immediately suspicious. Tulloch's statement is not just close to Parker's, it's virtually identical.
We'd like to have them come down to town, make a formal
It's as if the two boys memorized their statements beforehand.
suspect. We need you to sign this form giving us permission to do that. Is that okay?
Then the detective notices something chilling.
He noticed that the footwear was the make and model of the hiking boot that we were looking at. So, I mean, he knew very early on this was probably somebody involved in this crime scene.
They want to take you down to headquarters.
He did a very good job of maintaining the interview because this was, no arrest warrants were in hand. He went out there to find out about the knives and then very quickly realized that he was dealing with one of the murderers right there.
Oh.
Come on.